Today, I'm going to be making a possum pie. I've never heard of this kind of pie before. Apparently, this is what it's going to end up looking like. This is from the November 2022 edition of Food Network magazine. And so normally I show you all the ingredients at the beginning of the video. I didn't do that this time. I'm going to do it in parts. So there are 3 parts. You have to make the crust, and then you have a filling, and then you have a topping. So at each section, I'll show you what you need. So these are the ingredients you need just for the crust. You need 1 stick of unsalted butter at room temperature, plus more for your pie pan. So this is my 9-inch pie pan, and it tells you to just take butter, and you can see that I have taken a pat of butter and just coated the sides and the bottom. I've already done that. So you need the 1 stick of unsalted butter. You need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of toasted pecans. So I have put these, I measured them out, put them in a pan, and I toasted these in a pan, and it doesn't take long. It takes maybe 5 or 6 minutes, and you just need to watch them, make sure they don't burn. Then you need 1/3 cup of confectioner sugar, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1 large egg yolk. So you do want to, like I said, you want to butter your your 9-inch pie plate, and you want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. So the first thing we're going to do is, we have a food processor here. You want to combine the flour and the pecans, confectioner sugar, and salt. So you want to pulse this until your pecans are finely ground but not paste-like. That's what it says, not paste-like. So let's see if they're, yeah, they're finely ground in there. Hopefully you can see that. And now we want to add our egg yolk and butter. And then you want to pulse this until it becomes paste-like. So now we're going to take that mixture and we're going to spread it out on the bottom and up the sides of our pie pan. So now I'm going to put this in the freezer for 20 minutes. My pie crust has been in the freezer for 20 minutes. So now I'm going to take some parchment paper and put your parchment paper into your pie crust like this. And you want to take some baking beans. We've had some baking beans. We've had them for a while. You buy them one time and you use them for years. I think this might have been like 2 packages of baking beans, because you don't get a ton. But your oven should already be preheated now to 350 degrees. You want to bake until the edges are dry and just set. It says about 25 minutes. So I'll probably set my timer for 23 minutes and then we'll be back. This was in the oven for 23 minutes, and I can't even see the edge because I covered it with parchment paper. But it says, remove the parchment and wait. If the crust does not release from the parchment, bake a few more minutes. And then it says, return the crust to the oven and bake until the bottom is dry and the edges are lightly browned, about 15 more minutes. So, hopefully this will come off. Yep, it came out. Okay, so now make sure you put your glove back on. Don't forget that this has been in the oven and it's hot. But I'm going to bake it for an additional 15 minutes and I'll be back again. Okay, so here is my crust out of the oven. It's completely baked. So now you just want to let it sit and cool completely. I will probably put mine in the refrigerator just to speed up the process. I don't think it'll hurt it. And then I'll be back to tell you the ingredients we need for the filling. So now I'm going to go over all the ingredients for the filling. You need 6 ounces of cream cheese softened. This has been sitting out since I started the crust at the very beginning. You need a 1/4 cup of confectioner sugar, that's powdered sugar, 1 tablespoon of heavy cream, 3/4 cup granulated sugar, 3 tablespoons cornstarch, 3 large egg yolks, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 1.5 cups of milk, a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 ounce of semi-sweet chocolate chips. And so I just put these on the kitchen scale, and that is 1 ounce. So to make the filling, you want to take your cream cheese and you want to mix this just to loosen it up so it's not in a block form. Now you want to mix in your powdered sugar and your heavy cream until it's smooth. So we're going to take this mixture and we're going to evenly spread it in the bottom of our cooled crust. So now we're going to take our granulated sugar, cornstarch, our eggs, vanilla, and a 1/4 cup of milk. I'm glad I read those directions because you only need, it tells you you're going to use a whole 1.5 cups, but you're only going to use a 1/4 of the cup for this part. So I divided that out. But you're going to whisk these 5 things together. So I turned my KitchenAid off for a minute because I want to tell you this next part we need to do. We need to take our milk, the remaining milk, and our cocoa powder and salt, and we're going to whisk this over medium heat for 3 to 5 minutes until this is combined. Okay, our cocoa mixture is steaming. So we're going to come back over here. We're going to turn this on. And we're going to mix in half of that mixture into our egg mixture.
I got to turn that on.
Okay, go ahead. So we're going to take this mixture and we're going to end up pouring this whole mixture back into the saucepan with our remaining cocoa. Okay, so now we've combined it back in our pan, and now how long do we need to cook it?
It has to be, it has to get to where it gets clumpy, about 3 to 5 minutes, and then once it gets clumpy, whisking constantly, you want to go another 30 seconds to 1 minute until it gets thick like a pudding.
Okay, so this is getting thick like a pudding.
It's really thick.
It's really thick. So it says you want to remove from heat and stir in the chocolate. So that's our chocolate chips right here. I'm going to stir. We're going to stir in the chocolate. And then over here I have this sieve, and you need to have a medium bowl, and you're going to, Kevin's going to pour that mixture into this sieve.
I'll make sure the chocolate's good melted.
This is what it looks like.
It's it thickened up really fast. It was shocking to me how fast it thickened up.
I see. I see what they mean now by releasing the steam, because once it went through that sieve, I didn't realize there would be that much steam, but boy, it sure does have a lot of steam coming off of it. So now it says to spoon the chocolate over the cream cheese. So I'm gonna let Kevin do the next part. You want to take some plastic wrap, some cling wrap, and you're going to put it over the pie, and you're actually going to touch the plastic wrap to the chocolate. And why is that the case, Kevin?
So you don't get a little skin on it.
We don't want a skin, no skin.
No, if you ever had a pudding with skin on it, it's gross.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's rubbery.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so once Kevin gets this on here, we're going to, you can refrigerate this overnight or for 6 hours. I'm actually going to set a timer for 6 hours. We are now ready to make the topping. So for the topping, you need 1 cup of heavy cream, cold heavy cream it says, 2 tablespoons of confectioner sugar, which is in here, and a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. So we're gonna be putting all 3 of these in our mixer, and we're going to put them on a medium speed until medium firm peaks form. Okay, so we have our topping, and you get your pie out of the refrigerator and you uncover it. And then we're gonna put our topping and cover up the chocolate completely. Now you want to, I toasted some more pecans. I just literally took a handful of pecans and then I beat the bag with a rolling pin. And so I'm gonna sprinkle these over the top, and it doesn't say how many, it's literally for decoration. So I'm just gonna sprinkle some of those over the top. And then it says to use like chocolate curls, and that's fine if you have baking chocolate or something like that. If you have chocolate curls, I don't have any chocolate curls, so I think it'll look just as good with some Nestle Toll House morsels. So that's what I'm going to use, is just some of these. And I'm not going to put a ton, just a few to add some color. This is called possum pie because it's not what it appears to be. Just as the animal fools us by playing dead, the pie conceals its true identity with a big pile of whipped cream. Underneath the topping is a layer of rich chocolate, and beneath that, a sweet cream cheese filling. It reigns as Arkansas's most popular pie. So, if you're watching from Arkansas, chances are you probably have had this. We have never heard of possum pie.
Mm-mm.
Never heard of it, never seen it.
It's really good.
I have had a pie just like this, but it was not called possum pie. I've had that same pie.
Can imagine.
It was 10 times easier to make. Because you bought a frozen pie crust. You didn't make your own. You bought chocolate pudding, and then you put Cool Whip over the top. The only difference from what I've had before in this is that cheesecake bottom.
And it does have you can taste the cream cheese a little bit. It does add a little bit of different flavor.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. I like that. Nice chocolate flavor. The chocolate filling would just be a nice chocolate pie filling if you didn't want the cream cheese part.
It's a good looking pie. It has nice layers. And now that I'm sitting here, it seems like there were Cool Whip ads in magazines. And on those Cool Whip ads, they show a pie just like this, probably old school, years ago. But they have your pie, your crust, and your pudding layer, and then your Cool Whip layer. It's just that easy. So why in the world would you go to all this trouble? I do think it's a
But I don't know that it's worth the trouble of doing it. Of course, they didn't take long to do just the cream cheese part. If you want to do the cream cheese part, that didn't take no time.
It's just been an all day pie for me, and I want.
A lot of that was because of the chocolate. Though you had to cook it, and then you had to refrigerate it. If you did a pudding mix, it wouldn't do.
So that's my question. If you make possum pie, if you're in Arkansas and you're eating possum pie, what is your shortcut method? Because surely to goodness, not everybody's doing it this way. It's just a long process. It literally took all day. And for me, yes, it's good. So if you make it, you're not going to be disappointed. But it's going to just take all day. That's all. So you'll just have to let us know in the comments below. And thanks for watching.